Hey there, this is Julia Lyons, country singer-songwriter, and you are listening to Hank Jr. on Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hank's Corner. As always, I'm your host, Hank Jr. I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and of course, podcasting. And this podcast episode is brought to you by the Tiki Cove in Land O'Lakes, Florida. If you're ever in the area, come by, enjoy a great night of music, food, and sitting out there on the beach by the lake. And I'm so happy for this guest to come on. I recently found her, and you may have seen her not too long ago on my New Music Friday playlist. She is the girl next door, although not quite next door to me, as it's clear across the country. Please welcome to the show, Julia Lyons. Julia, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. So excited that you can make it on the podcast. And I did allude that even though you have a song called Girl Next Door, you are actually clear across the country from me. Tell everybody where you're calling in from.
I'm from California, Temecula, California, actually, so right by San Diego.
Yeah, so by San Diego, just a little south of LA. And, I've actually been to LA and I've been to San Diego, but I haven't been in between. So what am I missing in between the two big cities?
Well, personally, I love my hometown. A lot of people are like, Temecula is this, Temecula is that. I love it so much. It's just, we have a place called Wine Country, and it's just beautiful rolling hills of like grapes and just scenery, and it's just lovely. And then we have Old Town Temecula, which are trying to replicate the Broadway Nashville scene, if that makes
Oh.
sense. So we have that little strip, but I just love it so much. So I think nobody really knows about Temecula. It's kind of like a hidden gem, but once you figure it out, you're like, oh, dang, that's pretty cool.
Well, I've definitely have heard of it. I just haven't been there. And we were talking a little bit offline. I don't know if people that follow me know this yet, but I will actually be in the Anaheim area in August. I'm hoping to see a couple of people while I'm out there. Maybe Presley Tennant, maybe Christy Huff, and a couple of other ones. So I don't want to release too much because I can't guarantee that that's going to happen. But I was talking offline that you have a couple shows that are going to be playing during that time, and potentially maybe I can come see you as well.
Correct. That'd be awesome for sure. You should definitely stop by. That'd be fun.
And I know you're doing a lot of great stuff out there. You got the release of 2 singles that have come out, but you're doing a lot of other stuff. I mean, you just had your 19th birthday, correct?
Yes, I did.
I saw some social media posts about that. How was that? Looks like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, yes. It was so fun. I'm not a huge birthday person. So I'm like, you know what? You only turn 19 once. Why not just go out with your best friends and have fun? And we went to Old Town, and it was just a blast. So I enjoyed it a lot. So, but I'm trying to hang on to 19. I don't want to 20.
Well, 20 and 21 are some good years. I always said after 21, what is there? But, I'm not going to say how old I am. It's hard to calculate, but I definitely enjoyed those years around there. And I'm assuming, we're not going to get into too much details, but you're not taking too much advantage of the wine country out there at age 19 yet.
No, but you'd be surprised how much free alcoholic beverage I get offered, even though I have to turn them down because people assume they're like, oh, since you play, maybe you're older than you are, but no. But I keep it chill. I don't do anything.
Yeah, and if so, we're not going to incriminate you on this show. That'll be for another show anyway. So, but not only that, I mean, you celebrated your 19th birthday, but then I also saw that you got a trip to Hawaii as well.
Yes.
Oh my God. Tell me about that.
That was amazing. So my family and I, we always go. It's the island of Maui. We always go, and we just have that little getaway. And if I could, I would pack up everything and just be like, bye, I'm heading to Maui. I will live there forever in eternity and just chill. Like, it's beautiful. It's just like, I can't even describe it in words. I just love it so much. So yeah, Very
Yeah,
good. And
so, we talk about, some of those good years that I may have had, and I'm not gonna get too much into what I may or may not have done at that age as well, because I don't wanna incriminate myself, but for my graduation, my senior graduation, that's what I did. I had some friends that, were from Texas that I used to go to school with, and we flew out there to, we were on Oahu, though, but, it was what you described into was so beautiful.
oh
I would
yeah,
have loved to gone over to Maui, but just that alone. But that being said, I have not been back since. So that just says how long
it's about
it's
time.
been. It
It's
is.
about
And,
time.
maybe I'll run into your family the next time we get there. But, I could keep going on and on because, out there as well, I saw that you sung the national anthem for the Padres. And
Yes,
see, that's what I'm saying. You're having a big year this year.
I know that's why I'm so sad to let 18 go. I'm like, oh, because that was a little bit before, but yeah, I sang for that. That was wild to me. I was so nervous though, but oh, it was such an amazing experience, and everybody was so friendly, and it was the biggest audience I've ever sang in front of. So that was just wild, but I thought I did really well, and I was happy to be there. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the last time that I was in San Diego, I believe, if it wasn't that time, was the time before. I did get to see the San Diego Padres play. So it was kind of nice to kind of see that again and reminisce. But
Yeah.
so you're saying that that's the biggest that you performed in front of,
Yes.
whether national anthem or just playing for a crowd, correct?
In general, yes, that was the biggest. It was um there were so many people. There was like it was so filled. Every seat was filled. It was by far the biggest.
Did
For
your
me.
social media go up as far as followers after that?
I got a couple followers, a lot on my TikTok, um, and a lot on my YouTube too, which is good. But yeah, it did. I think it did pretty well. I would say.
Well, good, good. I'm glad you got that experience, and it's always fun to see some of the people that I know performing the national anthems for such big events, and
Yeah.
and good for you.
Thank
But
you.
let's get into more promoting you as an artist now, because like I said earlier, that I had you on my New Music Friday post not too long ago because you came out with the song "Miss Me Now." Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that song is very near and dear to my heart because I did write it about two very important people in my life. But the story is about a young married couple kind of going through it, and it's not the best at first, but they figure it out. And I know that that young married couple works out because it's based off my parents' early love story, how they lived by the beach, and like he was sleeping on other people's couches, and she was just missing him, and he was missing her, and they were the two people that broke each other's hearts, but that distance in time kind of brought them together. And they've been married 29 years, so obviously it worked out. And 4 kids later.
Oh, 4 kids. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that definitely does say, congratulations to them to make it 29 years and to survive
yeah.
4 kids. I know the feeling. I have a little bit more than that as far as kids that we brought into the family, but I can feel that. Now, you're the only writer on the song, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So what did they think about your parents, when you first played it for them or shared it with them? What were their thoughts and reactions?
Well, they always knew, like they always had the hope in me, like that I could write and put something super meaningful out there, and I think that was the most encouraging. But when I first played that song for them, my mom started crying because she's kind of like it meant so much to her that I wrote a song about them, the most important people in my life. They were just completely blown away, and every time I play it, they always just like it's a beautiful song, I think, and I think it's even more beautiful that it's about them, and I think that they realize that too. So I think they're just blown away, I would
That's
say.
awesome. And from what I see online, I see that you're getting pretty good reactions. Is that the case when you play it live for people?
Oh yes, I always explain the story though, because I think when people understand that I'm only like 19, they're like, "How does that relate to you?" Um, but really, I have to explain it's about my parents, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes way more sense." Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and play Miss Me Now here on Hank's Corner.
Hold on a minute before you leave. You're taking the vinyl, you're taking a key, not to my heart, to an apartment name, a place we called home. I thought we would stay, and before you go, when you pack up your things, I left one of my favorite picture frames of a trip to the beach with the names in the sand, and we danced to the waves and swayed to a band. Like a child in the water, we pulled each other apart. Who'd have thought of all people we'd be the ones to break our own hearts? And we're driving away in your fast car and sleeping on somebody's couch. So here I am in a bed, hoping you miss me now. When you're on the highway, the radio's on, my favorite station that the chicks would come on. Maybe they'll play Cowboy, Take Me Away. Remember when you heard that song at karaoke night in a corner downtown? You and your friends were messing around, not looking for love, but then there I was. Right now you're off skipping town. Like a child in the water, we pulled each other apart. Who'd have thought of all people we'd be the ones to break our own hearts? And you're driving away in your fast car and sleeping on somebody's couch. So here I am in a bed, hoping you miss me now. Ooh, yeah. And maybe we'll fix this in the long run. Oh, but solitude can really get the best of you when you're missing that special someone. Like a child in the water, we pulled each other apart. Who'd have thought of all people we'd be the ones to break our own hearts? And you're driving away in your fast car and sleeping on somebody's couch. So here I am in a bed, hoping you miss me now. In my bed all alone, hoping you miss me now. Please come home when you know how I miss you now.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and you just heard my special guest, Julia Lyons, with her song Miss Me Now. And as she mentioned, that was based on her parents. And, before we get into a little bit more of the history, I'm going to try a new segment here on Hank's Corner. I haven't done this before. You're going to be the first one. And this is two truths and one lie. And so basically, you're going to give me two truths about yourself, one of them being a lie, and any order that you want. And then, while I'm doing this podcast, I'll think about it. And then towards the end of the show, I will try to guess which ones are the truths and which one's the lie. So if you can think of two truths and a lie, hit me with it.
Okay. I am a expert fisherwoman. Second, I am a beekeeper. And then third, I was in college to be an accountant.
Okay. Well, I can say, at least for me, I was definitely in college to become an accountant, although I did not go into that as far as the career. But that was what I got my degree in. So, maybe I can tell whether or not you have the accounting skills or not. But as we keep listening, everybody, look, maybe listen for clues. Maybe she'll give it away by accident. But towards the end of the podcast, we'll see if we can get it right. But so tell me a little bit about the history. I know you say you're only 19, but everybody has a start. Everybody, first starts out either, singing with a hairbrush or, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. How was your start? And when did you actually decide, hey, you know what? I might want to make a career out of this?
Well, man, this might give away one of my things, one of my truths or a lie.
I didn't mean to be inquisitive, man. I might be good at this. I don't know.
Yes. Well, it started, I always sang since I was little, like two. My parents, they were never singers or musical, but I was always influenced by their taste in music, and I've always was fond of that. But it wasn't until 3 years ago, I would say, that I started to take it more seriously. It was really wild. I entered a hometown competition, and I ended up winning for my category, and that took me to Nashville for a competition for NACMA, I believe it's called NACMAI, I believe. And
Okay.
I ended up playing in that competition that was held in Pigeon Forge. And it's a pretty big competition. And I ended up winning for my category. And that, in a way, proved to me that, oh, you actually can do this and you love country music. So why not pursue that as a career? And then I picked up guitar within 5 weeks, which was wild.
Wow.
And I've had a love for music ever since. And I discovered the ability of writing, and I've written over 200 songs just because, and I fell in love with the fact that I could do this. And from being that age 3 years ago to now, I've seen how much I've grown. And it's just, there's never been more of an exciting moment in my life. So I love it so much. Yeah.
Well, that's great to hear, that passion about being behind that, I hope you never lose that passion. Music is
Thank you.
such a great art, and it brings so much emotion. And what's better is when the artist or, the songwriter, whatever, is truly passionate about it, because I
Yeah.
never want to see it get disgruntled, because it is such a great gift to have. And, I wish I had it. So, keep that going. That's definitely refreshing to see.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So as a songwriter, I mean, I ask this to everybody that I have on my show, but you may not have as far back to think about it. But do you remember the first song that you ever wrote?
Yes, I did. I did. It was at a songwriting camp, and I wrote it with other people, and it was really, really fun. But I'm slightly a perfectionist, so I write with so many people now, but at the time I didn't know how it was done. So I wrote a song about my hometown, and I'm like, I have to give every single detail, and I have to be super precise because people need to know what I'm talking about. And it was about my hometown. I think it was called "Thinking Back to My Hometown," which was my first song. It was, I don't even remember how it goes, but I know that I was stressing over that song.
And that's pretty cool to remember that. And do you think that that's something that, whether you tweak it or not, that you may ever actually play live?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
No,
It's one of those, right?
it's one of those ones that you never want to see the light of day. But at least that was the launching pad from, I look back at that song and I think now, like, wow, I came so far from those little lyrics to something a lot deeper. But yeah.
Yeah, there's only one person that I've had on my show, and I've had over 120 some episodes now, but only one person that I've had on the show, Allie Colleen, who said that she remembers the song that she first came out with, and she does occasionally play it on stage, but she only
Yeah.
does it when somebody will request that. And so
Yeah.
I wrote that down and say, well, I'm going to be one of the ones to request it. But she's the only one that I can say that will play her first song. Everybody else kind of is like you and say, nope, that's only for me. And, we'll keep it like that.
Well, I mean, I would share it with the world if it was any good, but it's not. So really, I think I'm sparing people, if I'm being
Oh, well, that's nice of you to do that, but I'm sure it's better
honest.
than what you think. So also on your social media, I noticed somebody that goes by the name of Jackson Fiddle. Tell us a little bit about that and how you guys are, always doing social media together.
Yes, that's my baby brother. Um, he is a talented violinist and fiddle player, but he just started doing this about a year ago with me and playing live with me. But he was classically trained for 8 years in like
Wow.
orchestras and big events and just more of the classical sound. And then I'm like, Jackson, I do country music. You play violin. The fiddle is just another way of playing the violin. Why don't you play with me at live gigs? And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. And my mom's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So he picked up the technique of fiddle within like months. And me and him have played, it's been about a year, I believe, have been playing together ever since and making content. And people know us by him being a fiddle player and me singing. And I write the songs, he plays them and adds little things to them. It's so fun. So yeah.
And how do you guys, as siblings, like playing on stage? Does any sibling rivalry ever come out, or is it just having a good time every time you're on stage?
It's not sibling rivalry. It's more like, hey, no, you're not supposed to do that. Or, hey, you should stop doing this. Or little like bickering that I'm like, this is so not professional. I get you're 17 and I'm like, well, now I'm 19. But I'm like, okay, we need to grow up. We have a show. No one needs to see us fighting over what whose order didn't deliver or this. It's funny, but yeah, we're still siblings. So
Well, that's pretty cool, and I hope you guys can stay together, for as long as possible. I know a lot of times that when that happens, people tend to break away and have their own career. But I think you guys do really good. And I just caught the most recent one that you post, the Three Wooden Crosses, and it's one of my favorite songs, by Randy Travis, and I thought you guys did a great job on that.
Thank you. He actually sang the lead for that one. I'm really proud of him. That's the first time he's ever sang the lead of any video that we've done, and I'm trying to encourage him because he has an amazing voice. But I'm trying to encourage him to play live with me and sing live. So this is a stepping stone.
Yeah, and I believe it was a post, right? Not a story, so people can go back, when the show
Yes.
comes out and watch that. So, go back and watch that, but go back and watch some of the other posts that Julia has out there with her brother Jackson. And let's go ahead and play "Girl Next Door," and when we come back, let's have a little bit more fun.
Took me on, I took my time in who I loved. My heart's so dry and you're so full of love. Let's face it,
And that was The Girl Next Door by my special guest, Julia Lyons, here on Hank's Corner. Of course, I'm Hank Jr., and I'm documenting all of life's moments through photography, videography, and of course, like this with podcasting. And so the last section, I usually like to try to have a little bit more fun, find out a little bit more about the personal aspect of you, not just the music side of you. And we kind of gone over quite a bit. You've done a lot of travel and everything, but usually the line I ask is I'll say, look, I know musicians are busy because they're either, doing social media, practicing music, writing songs, all kinds of stuff. But when you do have some free time, what are you doing for fun?
What am I doing for fun? If I'm being completely honest, there's two Julias. There's the show Julia and the country music, and then there's the grandma where I just want to stay home and read my books and hang out with my cats. I'm very much a grandma, but then I do like to go to the beach and hang out with my friends and, hang out with my siblings and, my family. So those are my things for fun. But
so would you say that you're more of an indoor person than an outdoor person?
When I have to be an outdoor person, I will be. But, when you really get to know Julia, it's more like, yes, she's such an old woman. Oh my gosh. It's really bad. My mom's like, Julia, you should. I get like, yes, you play on the weekends and you do those loud shows, but it's okay. Like you can just get out. But it's okay. I like being a grandma or old woman.
Hey, that's all right. We need everything. And that to me, there's certain times for that. I like a little bit of both. I like outdoors. I like being indoors. There's a time and a place for everything.
For sure.
And of course, you're kind of new to my playlist because I just discovered you, and I'm so glad that I got you on there. But tell me, who is on your playlist right now?
My playlist? Currently, Lauren Watkins. I am playing her on repeat, especially her new songs. I'm a diehard Faith Hill fan. So anything Faith Hill. And I've been listening to a lot of Queen.
Okay. Mixing it up with some Queen.
I know. It's I go through phases. I just don't know why, but I do.
And one of the things that I miss about the Queen's era is the length of songs. I mean, and I get it, not all songs need to be very long like Queen, but I do miss songs like that Queen put out or Meatloaf that go 5 or 7 minutes worth of just jamming, telling a story. Oh, yeah. And we just don't see that anymore.
No. Definitely the limit for time has changed, but I feel like since music was so different back then, like how epic it was, like you just want to hear more and more of that, like that sound that Queen gives. But now, I mean, if someone makes a song as epic as Queen's song, then I'm sure I would listen to that 5 minutes of just pure awesomeness or something.
Yeah, and I think the only time you would actually get that from an artist, and whether it's a cover or it's actually their songs that are maybe a longer song, is only at their performances, because they, like you said, there's just something about the attention span of today's people, and with producers and everything, it's got to be between 2 and 4 minutes, nothing more, and that's just the way it goes. But
I don't know what changed, but everybody wants it now, and I'd be fine with the 5-minute songs if they were good enough to listen to, which most are, but can't have everything.
Love it. I love it. And I can't go on my podcast without talking about food. I mean, I'm a big foodie, and people know that's why I got to work out a lot, because I tend to put on the pounds really fast. But I'm interested, what kind of food do you like? And, if I do get to visit the Temecula area, I mean, obviously I'll be in Anaheim, what are some of the spots over there that are great?
Okay. Yeah, you asked a good question about food. I'm a food person, so I would know. Let me think. We have a place called Temecula Pizza Kitchen. I've been going there since literally, I might as well could have been considered being born there, because they know who I am. I know who they are. I basically, every single week we go there. It's kind of insane. Temecula Pizza Kitchen's one. Let me think. What's another good place? Bottega Italia in Old Town. That's delicious. Super, super good. And then we have a place called, I I believe it's called 1909. And that has like, really good like burgers and like pizza. And that's in Old Town as well. But I'd recommend those places.
All right. So it sounds like a good spot for me. I mean, I love pizza, I love burgers, and of course, I love Italian. And so we talked about that you just got to do the national anthem for the Padres. Are you a sports fan in any way?
No, not really. But if you put me in a room and you ask what team would you pick, I'd be like the best person to cheer on that one team. And that's all I know about sports. I'm not a sports person. I'm like, I love blue. So I will be for the blue team or the green team. I'm really
Okay.
not.
So that's potentially then maybe you be a Dodgers fan. I don't want to offend anybody out there that may not like the Dodgers or the Padres or whatever it is in the the Bay Area, the San Francisco and all that. But as far as blue, that would be the Dodgers if we're talking
Okay.
baseball. So Dodger fans, go ahead and write in. And so earlier in the show, we talked a little bit about the two truths and one lie. And so I've kind of asked a couple of questions. These questions, though, I typically ask to all my guests on there. So I haven't been too inquisitive as to hopefully not give it away. But you said that you're an expert fisherwoman, that you're a beekeeper, and that what did you say about the college accountant? That you're taking classes or?
I was in college to be an accountant.
You were in college to be an accountant. Okay. So here's the moment of truth, and let's see if I can get this right. I'm going to go that you are a beekeeper, that you did go to accounting class, but you are not a fisherwoman. And tell me how close I am.
You're 100% right.
All right. So I'm 1 for 1. I like this.
You did great. Yeah.
So
No,
so then you have to tell us about the beekeeping thing then.
Oh, yes. Okay. That was something that I also do as a hobby. I didn't want to give it away. Very old woman of me, but me and my mom were beekeepers. She does mostly the smoking part of it, if that makes sense. Like she goes out there, but I do the harvesting and the wax and everything. Like I make products with those just for fun, but we get like last year, our last harvest was 60 pounds of honey, and we still have it. That was last summer around this exact time. This next harvest is going to be over 100 pounds of honey at least.
Wow. And when is harvest time?
Harvest time is about in a couple weeks. So
okay. Well, and do you sell this?
Well, I'm trying to convince my mom to sell it, but she's very like, no, we don't need to sell it. Like, we need it. We're gonna. I'm like, we have at least 20 pounds from last year. I don't think we need any, so I think we might be selling this batch.
Well, tell her I'd be interested in buying some, and like I said, since I might be in the area, I could just pick it up, swing on by. I do love honey, and especially on certain foods, I definitely like that, and I would like to try that. How many times have you been stung, and does it bother you anymore?
I've been stung a couple times. I mostly step on them, so I should probably put shoes on, but it hurts. But it's not as bad as it used to be. I used to scream and cry when I was little. Now I'm like, it is what it is. You can't change that.
Well, I don't like bee stings, and but I've been able to deal with them. I've been stung a lot by wasps and hornets, and those are never fun. So the once I got stung by those, I'm like, the bees don't hurt at all.
Yeah, so. I've never been stung by a wasp or hornet. I hope to never be stung by a wasp or hornet.
Trust me, you don't want that. Stick with the bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking with Julia Lyons here on my podcast, Hank's Corner, and be sure to check her out on all social medias, and you can find her website, julialyonsmusic.com, Lyons spelled Lyons. Be sure to check her out for any dates that she may be playing and all the stories and posts that she has playing, not just with her, but her brother Jackson as well. And, one more thing that I did forget to ask, and I'm going to do this now, is, if someone were to come to one of your shows, what is a Julia Lyons performance like?
Oh, it's fun. It's interactive. You all see me with Jackson. We get into it. It gets really fun. There could be 5 people, or there can be 100 or something people, and we're just we want to keep the energy going, so you will have a good time with us. And we play songs that everybody know, so you are bound to sing along.
All right. Well, that definitely sounds awesome. So whether or not I get to see you out there or, by chance you make it to this side of the country, hopefully I will get to see you at some point. But if not, if you ever want to be a guest on Hank's Corner, you're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you. I appreciate that.